This is what crooked. I'll just do my face.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, hold up.
Hold up. What's that song?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Everybody.
All right, we're ready. We are rolling.
Get
We
it.
probably were rolling already. I had some technical difficulties, but we're up and going. Welcome to episode 4 of Three Blind Vikes, as we finally have some actual regular season football coming
Up, man.
Are we ready for
No.
Viking football? No.
Yep.
Not even in the least bit.
Yep.
Are we ever truly ready as Vikings
Yes.
fans for football?
Dan's ready. I am not ready.
Dan's got his,
I'm ready because it's been too long, but like I'm not ready in the fact that I don't want them to do poorly.
We've got more questions than the Riddler. I mean, it's going to take some. We have some good ads. We have some upgrades from last year, but then there's some downgrades from last year. So it all depends on how much better those upgrades are compared to the downgrades. But honestly, I shouldn't say downgrades. Well, yeah, okay, there are 2 right now.
Yeah,
One's temporary and one is permanent. And permanent for 2024 anyway. Depending on what happens with JJ when he comes back from his little procedure. So I've already started to talk, but anyway, we have Dan, we've got Cora, we've got me, JB. We are ready.
we're ready.
Let's go. What do we got? We start off on the road.
Skull.
Let's skull.
That was cheesy.
We're gonna use stuff like that all season. We've got it built into the show. Let's get right into it. We start off on the road in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where Sam Darnold had little, if any, success.
Yeah.
And that's not. I hope it's not an ominous thing that he's going to be going there, as the Vikings take on the Giants this coming Sunday. Let's get right into it. What do you have as your key to victory Sunday? Let's start with Cora, who also works on another podcast now, who I'm sure she will mention and drop in later.
Yeah.
Cora, give me one key to victory from this Sunday.
I think I'm going to shock you when I say this, but the defense.
Wait, I'm going to need the paddles for that shock.
Yep.
I think that the key is going. So let me just start here. We were in the car driving and trying to figure out what the Vikings record was going to be earlier today. And I pulled up because everyone has the Vikings losing against the Giants. And so I was like, oh, shoot, man, obviously the key to the victory's got to be the defense. We gotta hold them. We got to do a good job there. But I looked up their team, and you know what? I didn't recognize a single person. Who is their team? Obviously Daniel Jones, and there's a few, but I'm like, how does everyone have us losing to them?
Well, because Jones beat us in the playoffs and actually really had them in position to beat us twice 2 years ago. 61-yard miracle field goals don't happen every day. So they're riding on probably the defense in New Jersey. I won't call them the New York Giants because that's not where they play. The defense and maybe Jones, I don't know. Maybe they're happy with the young guys they brought in. I think it's going to be a tight game, though.
I don't. But
Cora is going up. You are going out on some limbs, girl. I'm telling you. I don't know if they're
my record for the season is a little delusional, and apparently we're just going right off that boat. And I'm just like, we're gonna win this, and it's gonna be not. I mean, we're not gonna shut them out, but like, I feel like this is gonna be a good win. I think the defense is gonna come out because they have something to prove because everyone thinks they're garbage. I think Sam Darnold's gonna kind of come out and say, you know what, I'm actually good. Or I'm better than mediocre. And he's going to come out and he's going to try and shine. And I mean, we've got Justin Jefferson to help him. We've got freaking Aaron Jones. And I said this in the last podcast, but it baffles me that Aaron Jones is so overlooked. And it just surprises me that like in all of the drafts that I've been in, he's like third round that he gets drafted. Third round. I think he will be a key to the victory.
So now you're going with two keys to victory.
Yeah. I mean the defense obviously because
it's the defense.
It's the defense and I can't not say them, but I think an offensive key will be Aaron Jones and I think he'll do well.
I think he gets overlooked because he was in a timeshare situation in Green Bay and because of his injury history.
That's fair. I did just read something about him and the fact that he's feeling, I mean, they're going to say this every year. He's feeling the best he's ever felt, but like he actually like rehabs before every practice and like he has like a half-hour routine that he does before practice just to get warmed up.
Yeah, that's great. That's training is key with a guy like that.
Yeah. So
maybe we'll talk Packers for a second here. You know who's still available as a running back for a team that just lost their number one running back for the season?
Who?
Dalvin Cook hasn't been signed yet.
I thought he was signed by Dallas.
Nope. I don't think so.
I
know he tried out with Dallas, but I don't think they signed him.
Oh, he just did a practice. Oh, okay.
Now maybe I missed something.
He was in short shorts.
Imagine that. Can you see Green Bay going out and saying, you know what? We're going to sign Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
I could see it. They need somebody.
No, they won't do that. Dalvin wouldn't do that to us.
Oh, you don't think?
We didn't do him dirty. We
didn't exactly give him a fruit basket on the way out the door either.
Yeah.
That's fair. If he does that, I will be very sad.
That would be a game, though. That'd be something to watch. But we digress, as we tend to do on Three Blind Vikes. Yeah. Dan, what's your key Sunday?
My keys to this game that we got to win it is going to end up being the cohesion and how the offense is working together. So we've got to figure out a rhythm. We've got to get in sync. Darnold's got to be able to find the receivers. He's got to get through. We've got all the weapons we need. It's just a matter of can we come together and make it click. Sam Darnold's he's got talent, and I think he's going to surprise everyone. I think he is as good. I think he's going to have as good or slightly better than a year as Kirk Cousins did with us.
Bold prediction.
I'm not
honestly
a big Cousins fan. I think Darnold, with the weapons we have with Darnold, he's gonna have a really good year. I don't know if it's Super Bowl worthy year, but we will hopefully make it past the first round of playoffs, maybe the second.
Wow, we are delusional fans over here, John.
Yeah,
that's okay. Delusion is a good way to start the season.
Oh my goodness!
I'd rather be delusional than despondent.
There you go.
Before we play again, and because you just don't know. We don't know.
No, it's. I mean, defense is always a factor, but if we don't put points on the board, it doesn't matter.
But we didn't put points on the board against the Raiders and beat them 3-0.
That's the Raiders, though.
Yeah, we're not going to get too many 3-0 wins over the course of the season or a career or ever.
Or maybe we will.
Maybe we will. Maybe that will be the
We
Vikings
do have the best kicker now. We do have the best college kicker.
Yeah.
But the last SEC kicker we had who looked like he was going to be great. Well, let's not go into that.
Yeah, we get on kickers too much. What about you, John? What's the key to the victory for us?
Take the Giants fans out of this game early. We got to get the crowd out of the game. It's a home game for the Giants. That's just a rough place to be. I've been to East Rutherford. I was there when the Giants were actually good and saw the Vikings play. I saw Phil Simms, who was the most overrated quarterback I've ever seen, beat the Vikings by making such a horrible throw that the defensive back, and I can't remember who it was for the Vikings, was where the ball was supposed to be. And it was such a bad throw that the receiver adjusted because they know Phil Simms' arm. He was wide open because he went to where the ball went instead of where it was supposed to go. And that was the turning point of the game. They got like a 50-some yard touchdown pass out of it. It was a horrible pass. It was so bad that it ended up being good. But those fans can be brutal. And if they have something to cheer about, it makes it for a really rough Sunday in East Rutherford. So my key is get them out of the game, have Danny Jones taste the turf, get him some mustard and relish, let him taste it, let him eat it as often as possible. And I will, to play off what Dan said, you've got to get Darnold into a rhythm. You've got to, I say, let's get him some easy completions early.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's got playmakers.
So
never mind.
Before we go too far, let's get score predictions.
Oh.
I think it's going to be 27-21. Vikings win.
I'm going to say 24-21 on a game-winning field goal.
Oh, everybody's got a lot. Vikings 17-14.
Oh,
okay.
17-14, and I think it's gonna be a late touchdown to win it. We're gonna come from behind, win on the road.
Okay.
I like it. Okay. I like it.
Aaron Jones from 2 yards out.
After a 63-yard completion to Justin Jefferson.
After a 63-yard screen pass to Justin Jefferson.
Speaking of getting in some quick and easy completions, my X factors of the game are actually going to be the tight ends.
Look at this. She rolled right into the next segment.
Yes.
Rolled right into it as we go into X factors. So we've already got Cora's pick. She's going with the TEs.
Yes, Josh Oliver and Johnny Munt. I'm not saying that they're going to be any kind of Hawkinson, but I do think we're going to need to, because everyone's been talking about Justin Jefferson, obviously, because he's amazing. So they're going to be covering him a ton. Is Addison playing the first game? Do we know?
I haven't heard he's been suspended. So
okay.
I think he's good to go.
People talk about how awesome Addison is. Naylor's been getting a lot of press, and so they're going to be watching out. No one's talking about our tight ends, but we have heard little snippets of was it Dustin, the last podcast, or somewhere that they were talking about they've actually been making some pretty good plays, and they're showing up and they're catching and they're making plays. So I think the X factors are going to be the tight ends because they're going to need some quick completions to get his confidence in the game and to get things rolling. It's going to be the tight ends.
They sound like a law firm, but there are tight ends in Minnesota. Yes. Oliver and Munt. They will settle your personal injury case, but
yes.
I go to their neighbors. I think the offensive line is going to be the key. That's
Okay.
going to be the X factor. They've got to provide the protection. They've got to give him time to go through reads. And if he's not seeing anything open, he's got to have the time to hit the short passes. And I think that's going to be the key is get him the protection, establish a run game, and beat him up front.
I love both of your choices. I actually had them on my list because we do not repeat on this show. I'll go with my third option, which is actually the first one I wrote down. Remember the name Andrew Van Ginkel.
Yes.
Not Ray Finkel, who also played in Miami. Andrew Van Ginkel. I just love that he's back with B-Flow.
Yeah.
I think he can be very disruptive in this game. This Midwestern boy can come back, and I think he can wreak havoc at the linebacker spot. Wouldn't be surprised to see him bat down a couple of passes, maybe even pick one off.
That would be exciting.
Maybe even pick one off, but quietly that was like, ooh, when I saw the Vikings signed him in the offseason, I was like, very nice upgrade to our linebacking core. We really need a guy like that. And if he's in Minnesota, B-Flow probably wanted him.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So I just want to see those two guys get together. So I'm going to go with Andrew Van Ginkel as my X Factor. Now,
I like it.
For this season, what we will do is we will review our X Factors and see how all of them did.
Ooh.
And we'll see who has the best X Factor season.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Like it.
All right. I like it.
Remember who you picked
I'm going to be
this
the
week.
champion.
We should get something for the champion.
We should just get a big X, like a little X hat.
Yeah.
And then but then people will think we're promoting Twitter.
Like an X trophy with the mouse heads.
Yeah, something like that. So we will have to come up.
So it's going to be right there.
We'll have to come up with some kind of award to the winner.
Now what we can do is let's open it up to the comments.
There we go.
If anybody in the comments wants to challenge for the trophy.
Yeah, always. The comments are there for anybody who wants to say something. What should we do? Do you guys want to do Valhalla Back now, or do you want to let Cora do her Let's Get Defensive?
I'll do the defensive just because it's not a very exciting defensive.
Okay. We'll do Valhalla Back last this week.
Okay. But it does flow pretty well with your Van Ginkel comment because it is going to be a B-Flow bit because it was like super. I had sort of an epiphany at this last week with the Zim comments coming out and like him just hating on everyone in the Vikings and like we lost him the job and all these things. And it just was like a really big contrast between what B-Flow had to say when Tua said his comments about him being, telling him he's the worst person ever. And then what Zim had to say. Granted, there's a lot of time in between. So like they had a lot of time to think about it. And those are the words that Mike Zimmer chose to put out into the universe. So I think it just kind of reiterates what we had said last week about how actions speak louder than words, and all of the players that come to play with him and all the players that stood by his side when they were when he was addressing the media about the issue, and like the fact that Harrison Smith, who is the biggest Vikings, like he's probably the one guy on the Vikings team that everyone 100% respects.
Yeah.
Like he came out and he's like, I wanted to play here another season. I don't want to play anywhere else. Like I want to stay with B-Flow. I want to stay on this team. All these things. And just all of these like really high quality, high caliber, really talented, but also like amazing actual people are when what they're saying about Brian Flores and the fact that they're standing behind him. I think it's just a testament to the fact that he is, I mean, not that we ever question it, but that he is actually a good coach and that he is actually you know, a player's coach. And up until Tua's comments, you had never heard that he was a dick to his players.
I think Tua's a little soft.
I am starting to think that is soft, because like it just kind of it floors me that you think more people would be saying, oh yeah, he was awful, oh yeah, this and this. Yeah. More people are coming out and saying I chose to play on this team. Gilmore came to play with B-Flow. So like I just it's harder and harder to believe that is who he was and what he said, and that we had the full context of Tua saying that like he, told me I was awful every single day. So I just want to reiterate that I think B-Flow is awesome and I fully support him.
Well, I mean, the guy played for Saban, so I would have thought he would have a tougher skin than playing for Nick Saban, but
yeah.
I can't believe that Nick Saban stroked his ego so much at Alabama that the kid can't take a little criticism.
I
don't know if it was so much Saban as everything around it.
That's true.
I think Saban's there. I don't think Saban had one way or the other. I don't think he stroked it. I don't think he put it down. But you look at the way Alabama football is run, even then, is the entire city, the town, everything around it, the way they pump up the entire football team. And then you have Tua, who's extraordinarily good in college. I think it's the handouts. It's whatever you want. Not to say that like it's undeserving, like he's an amazing quarterback, but you gotta have a little thicker skin.
Well, and apparently Tua's not the only one who didn't like B-Flow down there. B-Flow spoke his mind. Things came out about what they were trying to do down there, and he wasn't all aboard on it. So maybe it's a Miami thing.
I'm glad we have him. And in fact, if they want to keep trash talking him and it keeps him here, go for it.
Yeah, maybe he will stay. Maybe we've got a DC until the guy wants to retire.
Yeah.
I'd be all for that. I think his chances of getting a head coaching gig again in the NFL are.
I think they're pretty slim.
Yeah, they are slim. But we'll take him. I'll keep him every day.
Yeah.
Vikings fans should love B-Flow. They should praise him every chance they get. Build him a statue, whatever you have to do to keep him in Minnesota.
Yes.
Because I love what he's done with the little talent he's had to start with. Now he added a couple of really good players in the offseason. I'm really excited to see this defense in 2024-25.
So excited. He's just got so many toys. He's got so many people that he can just play with. And I think I'm really excited that the Gilmore ad is in there, and everyone that he's added has experience with him. So they know what they're getting into, and they know how he flows, and they know his expectations, and they know that it's going to be just wild. And I'm very excited for it.
I am too. And I think his style of offense you need depth because of how high or fast paced he plays his defense, I guess. How much energy he requires of these guys. I think we're going to need some depth this year, and I think we have it. We have more depth with him than he's ever had since he came to Minnesota. My opinion.
12-5.
All right. Now the segment that was lobbied for that has nothing to do with Minnesota Vikings football whatsoever.
The Nix of Time just got here.
Take it away, Dan.
I don't have a lot this week. It's an off week, right? Week before season starts. He got the start. Bo Nix, good old boy. He's maybe not, that's bad phrase to use. But yeah, he got the start. They're going to Seattle, in Seattle. I I think it's a good test. It's not an overpowering team to completely like that everyone can jump on board and say, oh yeah, look how terrible he is. But it's also not a team where if he comes out and does well, they're gonna like, well, that's expected to do that to Seattle. And so I think it's just kind of a middle of the road team that is a good opportunity for him to start the season with. Now, obviously, going to Seattle always poses its troubles and trials. You got the fans, and I don't know if their defense is strong enough to take out the fans. And so it's gonna be interesting. He gets a full NFL experience with the fans, but coming from Oregon, I don't know that it's all that different.
He also has a coach who likes him.
What was that?
He also has a coach who likes him compared to the last starting quarterback.
Yep.
I think the biggest thing with him is that, like we were talking about, like people are definitely he's on their radar, and you hear him being talked about more. But I think the biggest thing with him is that it's going to be hard for him to show that he's good because he doesn't have a good support system or crew around him. Because, I mean, they don't have a lot of good receivers. Their running back is okay. So I think
their O-line's mediocre.
I think it's going to be interesting.
The big thing with him in college was that he didn't get sacked a lot. And I think that's going to be his key thing is he doesn't turn the ball over and he doesn't get sacked a lot. He's going to make that adjustment. And now it's a matter of, is he able to pick up the stunts, the reads, the man defense, the switches, 2 deep, 1 deep, spies, whatever they're running. He's got to be able to pick it up quick enough to find the right guys to throw to. And then they have to catch it. And it's kind of listening to all the disparity. It's like he lacks receivers that don't get a lot of yards after catch. And so it's like, okay, well, if he's getting 8-9 yards, he might have to throw 60 times.
It's going to be a passing game that mirrors your running game, kind of.
Yeah, but I think he's going to do well. I think once he establishes the short passes, it'll open up the deep ones, and he has an arm; he can throw it. And then listening to all the media is everyone's giving it a hard time of like, oh, everybody's only talking about his intangibles. They're only talking about how much of a hard worker he is, how good of a guy he is, how much of a team player he is, how much his knowledge of the game is up there. Nobody's talking about he's impressing them with his legs or his arm or his accuracy. But those are all things that I think he's already shown from college.
I think seeing how he reacts to getting hit in the NFL.
That's true.
Is the key to his success.
Because being hit in the NFL is definitely different than being hit in college.
Yeah, you're not getting hit by the Colorado Buffaloes defensive front, right? You're getting hit by real talented
big boys.
Yeah, big fast boys now.
Yeah.
I think that goes back to the preseason games. Is he was dipping in and out of the pocket sooner than what he needed to be in the preseason game, but I think that was the right timing for regular season.
Well, as long as he doesn't start saying the game moves slower than he thought it would, Justin Fields, he might be okay.
Yep.
I think he's gonna be better than Justin Fields, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give him a chance. I haven't seen him play.
You have to, because Dan has convinced you that he's gonna be at least better than everyone expected him to be.
Yep.
And you can't write him off or anoint him after a handful of games either. You got to see.
Dan will.
It's
He's giving him a crown.
Yeah.
After the first
the chalice.
Got to watch and see how he progresses. Is he progressing, regressing, or not advancing? Those are the things you'll watch for with a rookie quarterback.
17 games to get through.
Yeah. And then we'll evaluate him.
Yeah.
And we still might be wrong after 17 games because there were other guys who were just late bloomers.
Part of me like hopes that they don't do really well so that they get a really good draft pick and pick a really good wide receiver.
As long as you're not getting your quarterback killed in the process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
You don't want a David Carr situation back there either. Well, we will all be watching Bo Nix now, thanks to Dan.
We will be watching Bo Nix.
Yep.
Everyone else, please jump on our bandwagon. Okay, so I'm in 8 fantasy leagues. Did I say this already?
Not to the crew.
Okay. So I'm in 8 fantasy leagues. I have drafted 5. No. I've drafted 6 already.
Yep.
One of them's a keeper league, so it doesn't really count. And I have Bo Nix in almost every single draft.
Yep.
Every single league as my backup quarterback.
Dan has sucked you in now. If it costs you money,
he has brainwashed. And the one league that I don't have him, it's because Dan has him. So we are all in the Terry household. We are all in on Nix. I hope he's good.
This is going to be like the most interesting storyline of the show for the year. Again, it does not involve Minnesota Vikings football at all.
It's Bo Nix.
It's Bo Nix who plays all the way out in Denver in a different
conference. One of the most hated coaches of Minnesota Vikings fandom.
Yeah,
that's one of the most hated coaches of the Minnesota Vikings fandom.
Yeah, we would hang him in effigy for sure if we met him. Sean Payton.
Yep.
Not a fan. Never will be a fan.
No. He's got a butt mouth.
If he saved babies from a burning building, he's probably the guy who put the gasoline out front. So
yeah. Did it to...
That's not nice. I shouldn't have said. That's not nice.
Because you didn't start the fire doesn't mean you shouldn't have given them a tank of gas.
Yes. Wonderful segment on Bo Nix. Always fun.
Looking forward to the season segment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Once we start playing games, it's going to get better.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you don't love it yet, you're going to love it.
Or worse. We don't know.
The segment won't change. The segment will be
professional
great.
Analyst.
Watching Dan's emotions after each game for a team that doesn't matter to us at all is going to be just awesome.
It's going to be amazing. We're going to be emotionally invested into 2 teams this year.
No. One team and a quarterback.
And a quarterback.
Yeah, I get that. I've done stuff like that. Well, I guess it's time to Valhalla Back.
Take us back.
Valhalla Back.
We're going way back today.
Oh boy!
Like before you guys were even born.
Oh, I won't remember
you guys,
this.
but I was a little tight at this time. November 21, 1971.
Oof.
The Vikings played at the Saints, and it was so long ago. The Saints were playing at Tulane Stadium. It wasn't even the dome yet. They were outdoors.
Dang.
The Vikings were on the board first. Fred Cox. If you ever find... Fred Cox, right? He was a straight-on kicker. He didn't even kick soccer style.
Nope.
33-yard field goal. Vikings take a 3-0 lead. The Saints kicker, Charlie Durkee, also straight-on kicker. He makes a 19-yarder to tie the game at 3. Now, in 1971, you're thinking, how can he make a 19-yarder? The goalpost was on the goal line in 71. It was not back, so 19-yarder possible. Then later on in the second quarter, Charlie West for the Vikings picks a Saints pass off. He picks off a pass after the Saints had made an interception of Bob Lee, our starting quarterback. And it looked like it was a pick 6 for Charlie, but there was a clipping penalty on the play. Pulled it back. It still set up Fred Cox from 47 yards out. Vikings took a 6-3 lead just before halftime. First touchdown of the game was set up when, again, Charlie West catches a missed field goal. A 53-yard field goal. I mean, short. If you see the clip on it, it was bad. He totally mishit. West takes this thing back 60 1 yards to the Saints 30.
Dang.
Bob Lee finishes off the drive with a 4-yard touchdown run, and the Vikings lead 13-3. In the fourth, Lee leads a 10-play, 70-yard touchdown drive. It ends in a Clint Jones 4-yard run. Vikings up 20-3. They're cruising. Cox with another field goal from 32 makes it 23-3. And the scoring ends when a young quarterback named Archie Manning enters the game for the Saints to replace their starter, Ed Hargett. He hits Dave Parks from 4 yards out. That would end the scoring, but it was not enough. The Vikings take a 23-10 win. This was Bob Lee's first career start. 14 for 25, no touchdowns and an interception. Not really much to talk about. Clint Jones had led the Vikings on the ground. Vikings as a team ran for 172 yards in this game. Jones had 69 yards and 17 carries with that touchdown. Our top receiver, this is again, it was a running game. Oscar Reed, 41 yards on 6 catches. Charlie West, who we have mentioned a couple times already, he was the defensive star of this game. He had 2 interceptions in that big missed field goal, which turned the tide. This was the Minnesota Vikings' 150th career game. The record after this game went to 72, 71, and 7. The overall record for the Vikings has not been below 500 in the last 819 games. So that put them over 500 for good.
Nice. I love that.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's a good one.
And let me tell you, finding highlights from this game to watch, not easy.
So is Archie Manning, is that a uncle of Manning brothers?
That's Peyton's daddy.
Peyton's dad. Okay. Because I knew that they have, is it Peyton has a son named Archie that's in college?
Yeah, Arch is one of the Arch is I think it might be Peyton's.
Okay. Yeah, because Eli's are younger, I think. But okay. So the Mannings literally had it in their blood.
Yeah, and his career record wasn't great, but he was a good quarterback. He played with the Saints when the Saints were awful.
Yeah.
But that was his. I don't know that it was his debut game, but yeah, he came off the bench.
But it's over 500, and we never went back down.
I've never looked back. Nope, that was the game that put them over for good.
Yes.
Nice.
I love to see it. That's awesome.
It's getting hard to come up with things to talk about in terms of the Vikings records and what games mean, but we'll get there. We'll get through the season with it.
Yeah.
Once the season starts, a lot of the games will tie into who we're playing that week too. So
yeah.
That was a good one. That was good. That went way back. And it's nice. Like if you think about, I hate the graphic that the Fox News puts up when it's like the best win percentage teams and how many Super Bowls they've won, because we always have one of the highest winning percentages. We just have never freaking won a Super Bowl. I absolutely hate those graphics, but we're not bad.
No, we are.
We have not ever really been bad.
No, we're beleaguered as fans. We are frustrated as fans. We're a lot of things, but we're not a bad team. We're not a bad franchise. We've had bad seasons, but it's a pretty successful franchise overall.
Yeah. We just need to win the Super Bowl.
They give us something to root for every year.
Sam Darnold, Super Bowl.
Can you imagine if it's Sam Darnold that wins the Super Bowl for this team?
I could see
it would be a meltdown.
With all the quarterbacks that we've had, and some of them have been pretty darn good.
Honestly, I was convinced Case was going to bring us to the Super Bowl.
After the miracle, I thought it was our time.
Same. I thought the luck was on our side, and then we just laid a goose egg.
They got the first touchdown in that game, too. They went up 7-0, and I thought, oh, my gosh, here we go. And that was it.
And then that was all we got.
Then Case remembered that he was a mediocre third-string quarterback.
Yeah.
I would say the Philadelphia fans reminded him that.
Yeah.
They reminded him where he came from.
Not a good thing.
Nope.
Hey, guess what we can do this week?
Yes.
Question. The Nostradamus question returns this week. Does everybody have a question ready?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
All right.
So,
if you could compete at any event in the Olympics, Paralympics are going on right now, so this is still a themed question.
Yep.
If you think, okay, how do I phrase this? In what event do you think you would have the best chance of making it in the Olympics?
Summer or winter?
Your choice.
Okay, because I'm gonna go in the season I hate most, but the sport I think I have the best chance at: Winter Olympics, curling.
Okay. Yep. I'm not surprised to hear that.
I was a bowler in high school, and I was decent, and I played a decent game of bags, and I was a softball pitcher, slow pitch. So the motions all tie back pretty well to curling.
Okay.
You can't say baseball.
Yeah.
It's not in the Olympics yet.
I say in my history or now.
I would say like.
If I were to go to the Olympics now, it'd be probably in archery.
Archery, nice.
Yeah, because they don't do long range like gun shooting, and I'm not a fan of the pistol stuff. But I could see myself like, I want to go to the Olympics. I could see myself doing archery.
Not biathlon. You wouldn't do that.
No,
I was gonna say
that's too cold.
I was gonna say the biathlon because I cross country skied in high school, and I was actually pretty good, and I am a pretty good shot.
I like that. Biathlon. All right.
That's which one I was going to say. Because I was going to go swimming because I swam. But, like, I know that I'm not actually good enough to make it in the Olympics. So I'm delusional enough to think I could make it in something else. And I think I could potentially, not realistically, but kind of potentially make it in a biathlon because I skied in high school and I'm actually a decent shot.
I like it.
Like a biathlon in the Summer Olympics with like running and shooting. I could do
running and archery.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, even though it was just shooting in general.
Oh,
just like the normal 22s.
Actually, if I am gonna choose a winter and a summer one, summer, I think the kayaking, the slalom kayaking, is that what it is?
Oh, that's tough. That's
not the one where you're like kayaking with people around you, because that I'm not about that life, but I do have a lot of experience canoeing and kayaking through not rough waters, but like wilderness waters. So
Cora taking one sport in each Olympic.
Let's go.
I don't think there's a Summer Olympic sport I can compete in right now.
You know, there's always the joke of when you have like a normal person competes in a Olympic event alongside of an Olympian. I think it would be absolutely hilarious to watch a normal person do the artistic gymnastics where they like do gymnastics with a ball or like a hula hoop or a ribbon.
The ribbon.
Oh my God. I think that would be hilarious. Like, just imagine like a big old like beer belly dad with like a little gymnastics outfit and a ribbon, just like jumping in the air.
Like Chris Farley on skates, kind of from SNL.
Oh, that would be the best. That would be the best.
The Everyman Olympics, when they just send you a letter, like somebody said that you just got a letter in the mail.
It's like jury duty.
Yeah,
your turn's up.
Here, show up here, and this is what you're in.
Jury duty, or like the draft, where you just
all
right, it's your time to go. It doesn't matter what shape you're in.
Oh crap! I'm in synchronized diving. I'm in trouble.
All right, we're gonna jump together.
Cannonball!
Imagine you and me doing synchronized diving.
Cannonball!
Oh shoot!
Yep. Do we have somebody on the side of the pool throwing us a ball so we can synchronize catch?
Yeah.
Oh.
10.
All right, my Nostradamus question. Just stems because the kids have been watching a bunch of cooking shows. If you're in a baking competition, you've got to bake a cake to be judged. What cake are you baking?
Has to
Chocolate fudge cake.
Has to be a cake. Chocolate fudge cake. Okay.
Chocolate fudge cake.
Why a chocolate fudge cake?
Because my grandma's recipe is my favorite one.
Oh.
And it's for chocolate fudge cake.
That's fair.
And I would like to learn how to make it properly. So it would be like a 3-layer chocolate fudge cake, possibly with candy bars between the layers just for fun.
Ooh. I like it.
I like it. Yeah.
Send
us some slices when you make it.
Different candy bars in each layer. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
How many layers?
I think 3 is the most you'd want to go. You don't want to get too tall with your cake because it tends to tip. 3 would be more than enough. You don't want to overdo it.
What are you making?
I am such a bad baker.
She's not.
I am.
Nope. Better than when she was in college.
Okay, I've gotten better, but I practice a lot, and I'm mediocrely not getting as good as I want to be as fast as I want to get there. I would probably have to go with an angel food cake because it's my favorite cake, but then do like a whipped cream and strawberry topping.
So my topping?
No.
What topping I make?
No. The topping that we made for Troy's chocolate cupcakes.
Oh,
actual whipped cream.
Okay.
But that is really good too.
Yep.
But it's not mine, it's yours.
It is mine.
Yeah.
It's a very nice and light dessert too.
Yes. An angel food cake is so good.
Yeah, it is. It's delicious.
We have never done a homemade angel food cake, but we get the box cake quite often.
Yep.
Oh,
hi, Alyssa.
hello. Thank you for being a part of our podcast.
Yeah.
We're talking about if you could enter, this is Dan's question, if you could enter into a cake contest or you had to, what would be the cake that you enter?
What cake are you baking?
I am a angel food cake. And
hi, Liz.
No.
She's
So
awesome.
my cake would be a chocolate cake with a strawberry kind of puree for the layers.
Yum.
And then the outside do a berry cream cheese frosting.
Ooh. That sounds delicious.
Yep.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
That
it does. We just got back from the Italian festival where we bought like several dozen cannoli.
Cannolis?
Ooh.
Dan used to work at a pizza
Italian
joint, and they did cannolis there.
Yep.
It was listen. We go every year to the same stand, and we went over this year to the stand, and one of the employees saw me and said, "That's the 20 cannoli guy from last year."
Did you get 21 this year?
No, we actually got fewer, but they got to know my name. So the next day when we were walking around the festival, they waved and said, "John, what's up?" And I waved back and I said, "Hey, Joe, how you doing?" And then when we were checking out of the hotel on Monday, they were heading over to set up for the last day of the festival. And they saw me and they said, "John, how are you today?" And I'm thinking, I'm Norm now from Cheers, except for cannoli, because now they know who we are. But that was great.
What is the best cheesecake topping? Is it just plain cheesecake, or is it like strawberry, raspberry?
Yeah, like a truffle swirl, a turtle.
I think raspberry because it's the tartness.
Strawberries.
Strawberry.
Strawberry.
Ooh, I know. It's gonna be
What do you think it is?
key lime
Yep.
cheesecake because Dan's favorite is key lime pie.
Yep.
Ooh, that sounds good though, because you get that tart and tart working together.
Yeah.
We've done a nice raspberry. Yeah.
Alyssa likes raspberry.
Yes.
We've done a
We are the same.
homemade key lime cheesecake. It was really good.
All right, if you make that, I'll make you popcorn.
Okay.
Okay.
If I don't know how you ship it here, but we'll figure it out.
We might have
Lissa's
to.
great. Showed up. I love her. I love her
Yeah.
energy.
We should
Yeah, I'll
some
make you any
cheesecake
flavor.
and-
I make raspberry cheesecake popcorn.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
We should make one of those key lime cheesecake and take it to the tailgate.
If you ever come,
Yeah.
let us know.
All right.
There is a group of people getting together at the season opener. I think that might be too short a notice for you.
Yeah, for me to get there. Yeah, see, Alyssa has had the popcorn. But she got the Lucky Charms, which was her suggestion.
Yum.
Ooh, nice.
And I didn't know what I was going to do, but I figured it out because they do sell the marshmallows by themselves. So I took a recipe that I already made, and I said, instead of this thing, I'm going to add the marshmallows. And I prayed it was good. And yep.
It was so
It
good.
was so
I did not
good.
pay Alyssa for this testimony. She
I
loved
was
it.
getting a little suspicious.
Yeah.
No.
You're just bribing her
Yeah.
with more popcorn.
Yeah.
No, I just made 120 gift bags for school out by us, too.
That's
That
awesome.
was fun. That took a long time.
Yeah. I think you were updating on was it Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or something?
Twitter. Yep. Yeah, it was great. They asked for 3 different flavors. And it took me 12 and a half hours, but I got it done.
Jesus.
Nice.
That's insane.
And they liked it.
That's good. All right. What's your question?
What do you got, JB?
Yeah, my question, right? All right. Sticking with food.
Yes.
It's a 2-part question.
Okay.
What is your favorite place to go for donuts? And what is your go-to donut from that place?
Our local grocery store, Jerry's. Go-to donut from there is either the pecan apple fritter
Ooh.
or the cream cheese cinnamon roll. Yeah.
We don't really go to donut shops very often. And the one that's in Woodbury was pretty
Oh,
mediocre.
there's Duck's Donuts. Remember
Yeah, I think we only thought that was
Yeah.
pretty mediocre. But going off of Cub Donuts in our area, it's a grocery store, which is actually owned by the same grocery store that Dan was talking about. They make a fried croissant.
Oh, yeah.
So they take a croissant and they fry it and they
Shut
put
up.
like a glaze over top of it. Oh my God, it's so good. It's my favorite. And really all you're eating is you're just like eating fried dough. Like you can taste the friedness of it. I don't know how else to describe it.
Friedness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
just
it's
invented
like-
a word.
It's got the
Yeah.
essence of fried.
The essence of fried.
It's so good. Oh
Listen,
my
don't
gosh.
knock fried dough. My people, Italians, pizza frita, that's all it is fried dough with sugar on it. And we eat them like it's our job.
Oh my gosh. There was a donut place at the state fair. We went to it this last weekend. We did not get the donut, but we've heard amazing things about it. It's an Amish glazed donut. They're literally like
The size
of your
face.
head. A size, yeah. Probably
Nick
more
Lewis.
than your face.
Nick Lewis posted a picture of those.
Yes, and they're supposedly amazing. I wish we would have stopped, but honestly, the lines were so long.
I think I saw the line for it, and there was like 300 people in line.
Like it was wrapping.
Yep.
And I'm like, we have kids with us. We can't sit through that.
Well, we need to get you to Western New York for donuts.
Yes.
Because, and if you haven't seen me post about this place, I'll talk about it here. There's a place called Paula's Donuts. And they make the best donuts I've ever had.
I'm all about a good donut.
If you order a dozen, you need 2 boxes. That's how big these donuts are.
Nice.
Dang.
Now, Dee, my fiance, likes the red velvet.
Ooh, yeah.
I would say apple fritter is my favorite donut from there, but I don't consider that a donut. It's a fritter. And it is jam-packed with pie
Dan
filling.
likes apple fritters.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got apple pie filling jammed inside of it to the edges. It's loaded. These things weigh like 2 pounds a piece.
We need to go to
pick
a
them up.
Yankees game.
We need to come out for a Yankees game.
Yeah.
Well, if they, you can come out and see the Scranton Wilkes-Barre play Buffalo here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it would be an entire experience. Like we'd come out, see a Scranton game, see a Yankees game. Like we'd try and time it out.
Maybe we'll go to see Shannon.
Yep,
The Yankees are 6.5 hours from here.
that's fine.
That's a ride. I'm on the western half.
Okay.
Well, we have to go into somewhere and then sightsee out.
But we can definitely show you around here. There's a lot to see. But my favorite donut from this place, not the fritter because it's a fritter. It's not a donut. It's a peanut stick.
Oh, what?
A peanut stick.
Peanut stick.
Oh, you've never had. And these aren't even sticks. Like standard peanut stick, kind of small and tight wound, like it's a braided. This thing is a peanut log where like 10 of them you could probably build a cabin.
Nice.
It's basically a glazed twist cruller. It's a cake style, coated in glaze and peanuts.
Okay.
Interesting.
Listen, you're getting your protein every day, so I think I would say this is a good option for breakfast because you get your protein to start the day. So, but I had never. I mean, I love peanut sticks because they're hard to find anymore. Places don't make them. This is the best one I've ever had. But their donuts in general, they have a cannoli donut, which is ridiculously good.
Well, there's the grocery store here. I mean, there's some like dessert shops around, but I don't really think they do. I don't know. They're okay. They make a cannoli here. And while the outside is pretty meh, the insides are pretty good.
Yep.
Well, we got Snickers cannolis on this trip and Nutella cannoli. The place we get them from makes specialty cannoli. That's why we go there.
Yeah.
Because we can get, I mean, and their regular cannoli are fantastic, but nobody else makes the flavors that they make. I wonder if Alyssa's still around. I wonder if she likes donuts.
I don't know. Alyssa, if you're still around, what's your favorite donut?
Alyssa, what's your favorite donut?
What's your favorite donut? She's probably asleep. It's only 9:45. Never mind.
Well, I'm so glad she popped in.
I know.
Yeah.
Guest.
She's got the coolest attitude. Like she's always really positive and upbeat, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, our whole so when we were, one of our things we chatted about on the podcast was what we think the record is going to be, and Coda started, and she was what was it? 11-6, and everyone's like, whoa, oh my gosh. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, they're having this reaction to 11-6. Oh my gosh, they're having this reaction to 11-6. And Shelby goes, and I can't remember what hers was, but hers was like 8 maybe it was like 10-7. Hers wasn't great, but like she was like drinking the Kool-Aid that Coda was giving out. And then I'm just sitting there like shooting. They're like, all right, Cora, give it to us. What is your awful prediction? I'm like, I am delusional because I think we're going 12-5. So
but if they do go 12-5.
So like all of us think we're gonna go like, I mean, I think Alyssa thought we were gonna go 10-7.
That's what I think. I think 10-7. But
so
I need to
very optimistic.
Yeah, I need to see games.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard
to like predict what the season's gonna be when like literally you have no idea what a team looks like. Like, are the Jaguars going to be good or are they going to be bad? Are the Colts going to be the beginning of the Vikings game or the end of the Vikings game? Like, you don't
We
know.
don't know. We don't know anything. Injuries can change the season in a heartbeat, and we've seen that. So you don't know.
I'm really interested. I don't think the Bears do as well as everybody says.
No.
Oh, people have them in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I don't think they put it together that much.
The Locked On, like Luke is a part of the Locked On network. The Locked On NFC did predictions for their years, and every team but Luke Braun, who does Locked On Vikings, had the Vikings last. I'm like, what?
I think the Lions end up being last.
No.
You don't think so?
No. I think the Bears.
I don't think.
Yeah, I think the Lions are still the team to beat in the division. The Packers, though, Love has really come on, and I think the Packers can give them a run for the division. I
just think the Lions have a better defense over the Packers.
Yeah.
And I think there's enough of a rivalry between the Vikings and the Packers that they're not going to beat us twice.
All right, so how does the division shape up to be?
For me,
yeah,
I have it Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears. I still have the Bears last. But I think it's not going to be like we win 10 and go in 10 and come in third. I think it's going to be like the Vikings win 10 and the Bears win 4. I think it's going to be more like the Vikings win 10 and the Bears go 8 and 9.
That's fair.
But again, I don't know because I haven't seen Caleb Williams play in a real game yet.
Yeah.
And I saw this kid melt down at USC, and that is the only thing, if I'm a Bears fan, that I'm worried about. That he's going to get into a situation where there's a little adversity, and he's going to have a meltdown, and he's going to pout like a 3-year-old who just lost his lollipop.
Yep.
So
I think
sure.
I think it's going to end up Lions. I think the Lions are going to win it. And then I think the Packers and the Vikings, it could go either way. And the Bears are going to be last. I'm going to go Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears, just because I hate the Packers.
I think that's fair. See, and this is why we're married, because I'm delusional. I think it's Vikings, Packers, Lions, Bears.
Wow.
Whoa.
Here's the thing with the Lions that people will tell me I'm wrong about. If Jared Goff goes down, they're in deep.
That's fair.
You can't tell me Hendon Hooker is. I just laugh at the kid's name because, I mean, what'd they do? Sign him off a street corner? I don't know. But I don't think Hendon Hooker is going to be like a great backup. I don't think he's the kind of guy who can step in and get you that 11, 12 wins if something happens to Goff. So they got to protect him at all costs. Meanwhile, Minnesota, honestly, if something happens to Darnold, and I don't wish injuries on anybody, Nick Mullins and Sam Darnold are not that far apart.
No.
And that's what you got to look at. Who's the backup quarterback on these teams?
See, the fact that the Vikings offense made Nick Mullins look as good as he did last year, and then Sam Darnold is less hero ball focused, that's what makes me more positive about the Vikings than I think a lot of people. I think they're sleeping on them.
Well, good. You know how this team plays when people sleep on us.
That is another thing we talked about on the podcast. If they start talking about us, then we're stinking it up. But if no one's talking about us or still thinking we're not very good,
I don't want the attention.
No.
The way I see it is the Lions, the Packers, and the Bears.
Oh my!
Their season breaks off of one or two players.
That's fair.
The Vikings doesn't.
That's fair.
Out of the entire division, losing
Love
JJ is a big
out.
thing, but if Love goes out,
who do they have?
They don't have anybody really strong behind him.
That's
If
how I
Pop
looked
goes
at it.
out, he doesn't have anybody strong behind him.
That's true.
When Caleb Williams faces adversity,
That's true. Although I will say, the Bears, I think, I don't know. Man.
What if Caleb Williams is like Tua, and when the temperature drops below a certain level, he can't play?
Well, then that sucks that he's in Chicago.
Yep.
Or it's really good. Who knows?
There's a lot that you have to take into consideration. So let everybody sleep on the Vikings. Let them put us in last place. I don't care. They didn't play any games yet. People put Florida State as, a top 10 team, and they suck. So, and before they played a game, they were ranked. And college football is a whole nother animal, but you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We are well now over an hour.
We just can't stop gabbing.
It was the food talk.
It was the cakes and donuts.
It was the food.
Cakes and donuts carried us over the top today.
Dang it.
So that's our show.
Yeah, that's our show.
That's what happens. We could talk about kickers for 20 minutes one week and talk about donuts and cakes for 20
and donuts
minutes
for 20 minutes the next.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting.
Like
next time we talk, we'll have a game under our belts. We'll have some new wrinkles to our segments because of actual games.
Do we have a guest next time we talk?
I'm working on a guest for
Okay.
next time.
Okay.
I have to reach out again to this person and just verify it. So we may or may not have a guest, but if we do, we'll let everybody know.
It might be a really awesome guest.
It might be really awesome.
It happens.
It might be your neighbor. You never know.
And it might be some Joe Schmo off the street. Who knows?
Yep.
We don't know. We might find some. Yeah, we may find a person off the street. Maybe my dog will just sit here with us.
Yeah.
Our dog's been
shout out to Alyssa for showing up and
Thank you, Alyssa.
She is really, really awesome. If you don't follow her on Twitter, please do. She's a very positive Vikings fan, which is something we don't see a lot of, except for the three people here.
I feel like the trend is now becoming more positive, where before it was just like all negative Nancy's. Now it's.
I feel like Alyssa's less delusional than us, though.
Yeah. She's a little more realistic. I mean, she was what, 11 or no, she was 10-7.
10-7.
I was 12-5. So.
But we appreciate everybody who gives us a chance and checks us out. Next week, like I said, we have a game to recap and some new segments. Until then,
watch some football.
Real football.
Real football.
Where the starters play for 4 quarters. Have a good rest of your week, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Skol.
Skol.
Vikes.